Well, it's finally here. The 54th Super Bowl is about to blast off, and your Kansas City Chiefs and your San Francisco 49ers, for those of you that follow them, are ready to go. We're going to talk about what it takes to win this game, coming at you right now. Welcome to RGR Football. There's a lot of Chiefs fans on here, a lot of subs that already know who I am, but if you're a Niners fan and you're new, I'm Ryan, and this is my channel, Going Rogue. If you like it, click that sub, the notification bell, as well as leave your comment below, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. We have a ton to cover. There's been so much media going on in the Super Bowl activities, around the events. There's just too much to cover, so we're going to try to distill it down a little bit. And it's Friday, Red Friday, before game day, and it's really, really unique and a little bit eerie for me. The journey that it's been to get here, not only for myself, but for the entire Chiefs organization, as well as a big turnaround for the Niners organization as well. It's been quite a road for everyone, and I'm trying to sit back and enjoy it. I'm going to go over some film specifically of what I think are the biggest things the Chiefs have to watch out for in trying to mount a defense against the 49ers, who are doing a very good job with their offense. You already saw a couple of clips yesterday from Dan, the day before from me, about what they need to do in order to try and run their offense. So today we're going to focus on the opposite. But before we get there, a couple of things really, really stand out. And I'll have my preview for you, my prediction for you tomorrow on the channel, and as well as on the Locked On Chiefs podcast. You can get that linked below or up in the cards. But I'm not the only one. The prediction, let's hear from our super mod. For those of you that participate in the live streams, Aaron Morrow is our mod around here, and this is what he thinks.
Hey Ryan and all you rogues out there, Aaron Morrow coming to you on Red Friday of Pro Bowl weekend with my Super Bowl prediction: Kansas City Chiefs 34, San Francisco 24. Now let's see if the AFC can still win this Pro Bowl without any Chiefs players to win it for them. Have a good one.
I don't think he's too off the mark, and I think you guys will hear mine tomorrow and be right on track with where I'm going. But until then, there's a couple of other things that I think really the tone is coming out, some ideas about how this game is going to be played, and I want to address a couple of them real quick before we get into the film. And that is that the concept of the Niners sending 4, but still trying to spy Mahomes, because what he's done in the last 4 or 6 weeks has really changed the perception of what he can do with his legs. And I feel like that's not only advantageous for what he did in those games when it was situationally perfect to do, but it's also set him up to demand a little bit of attention. And if they do that, I think sending a spy against Mahomes actually helps Mahomes, because he doesn't necessarily want to break that pocket. His goal is not to gain yards with his legs. It is to buy time downfield. And if he can do that with the pass rush and taking another guy out of coverage, I think that really helps him. Now, I don't think that it's going to be just a coverage thing. They're going to be sending 5 at times, because I feel like the offensive line has been playing very well lately, and specifically in a big game with Patrick and his legs, I think the offensive line is going to hold up pretty well. Not perfect. Bosa's going to get his. D Ford's going to make a couple plays. The guys on the interior will probably make some too. I do feel pretty confident in their ability, because they are the best defensive front in football. They will get theirs. But I think there will be times that Saleh and the Niners are going to have to send 5, and I think that plays again into less coverage in the field, and I think that helps Pat Mahomes. Another big one that's kind of flying under the radar because they don't go against each other on the field is the concept of the pass rushers. Frank Clark versus D Ford, the old Chief versus the new Chief. And I feel like this is a kind of an undertow, belying everything that's going on these two defenses in particular, but these two rosters all the way around. There's a lot of subtle back and forth. Frank had some things to say that weren't very complimentary. D Ford is not feeling it either. So I feel like the two of them are going to make their marks on this game. And I'm pretty certain that the Chiefs feel like no matter what, they are not going to allow D Ford to beat them or keep them from a victory in this football game. So what does that mean? Does that mean helping Eric Fisher out a little bit if he's on that side? I do expect a lot of flipping, to tell you the truth, so I expect to see D Ford on Schwartz as well. But again, This team knows him very well, and I feel like that sets them up to be able to deal with his speed as well as Bosa's moves. The interesting thing is going to be when they send them inside against the guards. That's the pressure point that I think we're going to see come to fruition. But it's very much a subtle but in the public confrontation between the new defensive end and the old outside linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm really interested to see who has the better game. And lastly, just on a quick note on my personal take, because I get this question a lot, the death of the fullback is highly exaggerated, and I think you can see that as the game goes on. The two guys that I talk about the most are Anthony Sherman and Juszczyk, and they're both here, and I think Anthony has something to say about that too.
Sherman, I have a few questions for you. Fullbacks are the most underused position in the league. What do you have to say, being a Pro Bowl fullback, what do you have to say to other teams around the league about fullbacks?
You know, if you just look into this game right now, there's two fullbacks in this game. So I think last year there was one, and if you want to be in the Super Bowl, you might want to have the fullback on your roster.
Good point. Next question.
So that said, a couple of notes that I wanted to make before we get into the film, and this is really going to be about what I think the crux of the game is. How do you deal with the opposition knowing that they're as good at what they do as you are at what you do? How can you deal with that? How do you make adjustments? I think these parts of the game come down to it, and this is what the defense has to focus on.
I'm going to start this Super Bowl preview by looking at what the 49ers do best. And this is what it comes down to. The contest between a passing Patrick Mahomes and a running 49ers offense is one that's going to be back and forth. If the Chiefs can get to the point where they can stop some of these runs early, this is what they like to do. It'll take them out of their offense and force them to run more pass plays than they would like to, and I think that's a recipe for success. Now, this is something that's pretty basic. This is a power run that you're going to see this guard, who's actually trying to get the play call right here, come around. Nice combination here with the tackle and Kittle blocking. And this is what Frank Clark calls eye candy with the motion on the reverse from this wide receiver. It's not something that you have to be concerned about. But right here, he's got it. The motion's in. Snap. From right here, this guard's going to pull around. These two are not going to take the guys that are head up on them. They're going to change it up. As they come through, little step, just gets this guy to slow down so that Kittle can get his hands on him. And now he's coming off for the backside linebacker. The guard is pulling through, trying to get to the front side linebacker. He gets a little blown off here, but Mostert just cuts off of it and is able to accelerate through that arm tackle anyway. This is something the Chiefs have to stop. The other aspect the Chiefs have to stop is going to their bread and butter with George Kittle. And there's a lot that goes on. They do work to get him free as well in the pass game. And again, more eye candy with the motion out of the wide receiver. You're going to see a really nice, what looks like a wham block coming inside, something that's going to fool these group of defenders that might be responsible, depending on how they're divvying it up, for taking Kittle in pass coverage. And he then just turns it straight up, hits the accelerator, and is gone. As we watch this roll forward, just watch his subtlety here. Little bit, and then bam, it's a delay there, and this DB is way off guard. He's scraping across on that transitional route. Nobody takes him, and he is wide open. This is just too easy, and the Chiefs are going to have to defend this as well. It doesn't look like what it appears it does. Now, those two factors, the run game of Mostert and whoever happens to be back there, and the pass game with Kittle, is all what they want to do. They're going to go there first, but the guy that I think stands out as the X factor is Deebo Samuel, and he is amongst that group of rookies that has really stood out as being able to come into this league, have the offenses not be so foreign to them. The coaches have done a good job of adapting. You have guys like McLaurin, Metcalf, our Hardman, and A.J. Brown, as well as Deebo Samuel, who I think is one of the best of them, a guy that I liked coming out, but unfortunately didn't get to Kansas City. I think Hardman is a better fit for what they want to do too, but this is what it comes down to. You would think that a benign rookie like this wasn't going to be able to get the kind of release that he gets here. This is about route running, hand usage. This is what Deebo Samuel brings to the table as he gets off the line of scrimmage. A little fake, but it's here that he crosses back over and is able to get his hands off. Wide open. Easy ball for Garoppolo, and that's what you have to not allow Garoppolo to have is the easy passes. Now, this is interesting as well. We'll see it from the other angle here in a second, but this is Samuel lined up in the backfield, doing a little bit of everything. It's not the cleanest backfield action we're going to see here, but what it allows him to do, he gets out clean enough that he can use his athleticism to get to the corner, and once he's there, it's off to the races. Watch the blocks out here as we see the action flow. Handoff and acceleration. Tackle comes out. That's Laken Tomlinson, actually. Makes that block, and he just gets enough to turn it up. And he's got that speed. It's a little bit deceptive, but it is there. We look at the way that the play flows from the other side. It's a little bit of collision here, but keeps him clean. That block by the other back is what springs this play. The offensive line does their job, but this is athleticism pure and simple. Now, there's a lot to unpack in this particular play, and you're going to see a lot of it. This is what they like to do with their reverse action. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit to let it flow because the other side is what we really want to see. But watch what the fullback does in particular as we get ready to have this reverse work. Comes in, turns around, and is off to the races. Now, in the end zone camera, this is where it really shows off everything that's going on. From what in particular this fullback is going to do as we roll forward. Watch the fullback in his particular block because it's so deceptive. He actually comes multiple steps down into the line of scrimmage, into the interior, just to pivot and get back out and be the lead block on the reverse. That does a couple of other things. It allows the block of Kittle to be more effective. He's going to act as though he's trying to get out and run a route, and he's actually just creating a better angle for himself to get to his block as he comes down inside. Little stutter, and then bam, I'm coming for this offside backer, which seals that. The other thing that it does is just gets everybody coming down flow one way. Great fakes. You can call them eye candy if you want, but they work. And this allows, again, Samuel to do what he does with his athleticism. And this play is another version of it. Now they have the fullback lined up here in the H, and that plays a role as well. As we roll forward, you see that this is a great fake. Just pop that ball out, and now the fullback is off. And again, the lead blocker from an untraditional position. That really pays off as Deebo scoots around the outside. When we look for the end zone cam, we see it even more so. This fullback right here is the key block. All the other action flows down, but watch what he does. As this play, good play fake, inside, turn it around, and we're back outside. Everyone has flowed the wrong way, and now he's loose. Samuel comes up behind him, gets to the outside, and now there's a couple of force players here, but he's able to weave, make a nice spin here, and get the job done. That is a play that the Chiefs have to guard against. They're going to see multiple flavors of it, and it's something that is a bigger portion of the offense for the 49ers than you like to think. And to do it with a rookie, I think is even more impressive. So that's where I'm at today. These are the things that the Chiefs need to look out for when they're trying to defend the 49ers and win this Super Bowl. Let me know what you think. If you're new, hit the sub, hit the notification, leave your comment below, and leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. Check these videos out as they come up now. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'll check you next time.